Hello everybody. Right, I'm just going to get myself set up. Right, I can hear myself. That's a good start. Right, now this camera angle's looking a bit weird. And I just need to turn the lamp on. So let's do that. That should be a bit better. Right, now we just need to sort out this angle for you. Now you're too far over there, so let's move you along a bit. Excuse the wobbles a moment. I'm going to get you in the right place. That's better. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Excuse me for it wobbling a moment. Just want to tighten the camera back up. Right, that looks better. And now I just need to higher you a little bit. Okay, let's see how that looks. Now put these on this side. And move this way. Is that better, I think? Right, let me get near the desk. Okay. While I'm waiting, because I'm a little bit early, I'm going to start adjusting my page, and I can obviously tell anyone who pops in, or if you're watching on catch up, then that's fine, isn't it? So I'm going to be using Clear Gesso. Hi Cleo, can you hear me okay, just to check? Hello Joan. So Clear Gesso by Fabrique Deco. I'm going to give a good coat because I'm going to be using a lot of mediums today. There's a bit of browny colour on here from my other journal page next to it, but it doesn't matter. You could always, if it really bothered you, you could go over it in white gesso. No. I want something under to stop any ink splodges. Let me just get some plastic packaging. There we go, and that's just going to stop the ink bleeding and any mess I make like this going onto the other page. Oh, this is white gesso. Ha! I meant to use Clear Gesso. I was thinking that's very obvious when I'm looking at it today, if you know what I mean. Like, it's very apparent. Ah, that's because I've used white gesso. Okay, well I was going to use Clear Gesso. That's fine. Bits on my page. Where's all these bits come from? Right, let's move this up a bit. This is my ginormous journal, so we have to do a bit of shuffling. It doesn't matter that I've used white, it just means I need to definitely make sure that it's dry, because I don't want it to mix with my other materials that I'm going to pop on my page. So I just need to be extra careful to dry it, and as I've used white, I've covered up most of those splodges anyway in the end. I'll put that to wash. Right, and close that jar. I'm not going to need that again, so I'm going to get rid of that out of the way. Right, now will my heat gun reach over here? Just about. Now move the plastic before you heat, obviously. Hi Deb, else you're going to have melty plastic, not good, which also means fumes. We don't want that, so please don't do that. And now we're going to give it a really good dry before we start. Today I'm going to be doing, it's quite a basic layout in the principles, but I'm really going to work on my background. So you can see in front of me here I've got a little line of different paints and inks, and all in reds and greens and golds. So I'm going to be doing a Christmassy sort of layout, and I really want to play with, you know, there's no one red or green or even gold. You know, there's a bright gold, ancient gold, that sort of thing. So I want to build up those colours, so you really see a layered feel. So it's not, even though it's flat in dimension, it will seem like it's got some depth because there's different colours going on there. So I'm going to work on that. And then I'm going to go back to some basics. I'm going to do some stamping, which looks really nice. And with Christmas, I like to do embossing. So I'm embossing with Christmas stuff. I think it looks really nice with that gold touch or a silver touch, depending on what colours you're going for. It just looks really opulent, I think, for Christmas. So we'll give a bit of that a go. So I'm really trying to make sure this is all dry before I start. Okay, we're almost there now. And this is one of the giant Dina Wakley art journals that I'm working in. We do have some in the shop, and we have a few different sizes as well, the regular size and also just the white sheets, because this has different kinds of paper in and materials, so it's really interesting to play with mixed media on. So you could do the same kind of thing and get a totally different feel by which paper you worked on. Okay, so that's pretty dry now. So we're going to start adding some colour. Okay, so I'm going to start with my reds first. Now, because I'm using red and green, it's going to be really important to dry in between colours. Otherwise, as we probably all know, red and green makes brown. And we don't want mud. Let's have a slurp of tea. So let's start with our reds first. And then we'll build up some colours. So we'll go into green, but before we introduce green, we need to make sure that that layer of red is dry. So let's see, I'm going to start, this is one of my old inks. This is a Jane Davenport. Let's just start with this. So this is like a little dropper bottle. And when you're using inks, sprays in particular, or your water spritzer, really good idea to have oh, what's going on with my water bottle? Good idea to have something down to protect your surface. Did I lock it somehow? No. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's been weird. Oh no, there's my water spray on its way out. Oh, it's coming out a bit funny. Oh, no, and now it's going funny again. Oh no, I might need some new water bottles, I think. So this is quite a brown end of the red. It's a dark, quite a dark red. Okay, I'll try and get this to work, sort of. Okay, and I'm gonna do another red, so I'll sort of put them away as I use them, maybe. Well, no, I won't. I'll just keep them to one side. So let's have some carmine. This is liquid acrylic, so these are super duper pigmented. Now my page is already quite wet, so I might not need to spray it anymore. So tiny drops of this, because this is very, very pigmented. let's see what we can get going. Ah, it is broken. Oh, that is sad. Okay, need to order some more spritz bottles. Oh, and now it's working again. So this is a very orangey colour. It might just need a clean, because if I pull it, it works. Hello, Shirley. So I'm just starting work on a background here. Oh, look at that. And we can actually take some of this packaging. Just cut a square off. And I can use that to splat this around a bit. It looks like I've had a terrible accident on my page at the moment. It's like I've bled all over it. It's a blood colour. Right, so now I'm going to dry, because if I start adding green to that, that's going to go to brown. Watch that packaging. So I'm lifting my page up. I think I'll add some more red as well. And it's good to, you'll get a lot of water gathering down the spine, because this is one where it's sewn in, so it's not flat, so it's going to run into that dip. So it's a good idea to get rid of that water every now and then. I mean, this is a very well made art journal, but some of them, you know, aren't. And hello, Trish. It can really damage the spine if you let the water sit in there. Right, that looks nice. Let's do one more kind of red. So one of my very favourite reds, Red Wine Magic Paint from Fabrica. I love this. So this is a powder. And they're two tones. So you have like a flat colour red, and then you have a metallic shimmer in there as well. And this is a red on red one. And I do have a red on gold as well. So let's have a bit of that. So that's red wine, and this is rose with gold, which is a slightly brighter red with a gold shimmer. So I like how these ones are in little pots that you can just tap out. Let's see if I can get this water spray to work again. Having fun with this. You can mix those powders into a palette as well. You can also mix them in a bottle like this to make a spritz. They don't have an adhesive in them. There's no fixative in them. So if you're wanting them to stick to something, like you're putting them onto a 3D piece, you could maybe give them a spritz with some fixative, or like even a cheap hairspray would do. Okay, right, let's carry on drying now. So we've got some nice reds, so different reds, some dark, some are brighter red, there's an orangey tone in there from the carmine. Sponge. I'm just going to get rid of any sort of harsh lines I can see, or any real excess water. That looks really yummy already. So now we've got a bit of shimmer as well. I've got one more kind of red. So these were Vicki Boutin pens. Oh dear, I've put that lid back on a bit weird, haven't I? So you just squeeze the barrel. So see, this is a brighter red still, isn't it? So I like to play on the same tone, and it's far easier, I think, to create a cohesive piece if you stick to fewer colours. And like this, just you can use different shades and still keep it, you know, making sense. I think when you introduce too many colours, it's very difficult to pull it together sometimes. Adding the water as well just softens any sharp edges you've got. Just use the sponge as well. Right, that's some nice reds, I think, there. I'm not going to keep a little bit of white. I don't mind a bit of white. That's okay. So we don't have to cover the whole thing. I'm just suddenly thinking, oh gosh, have I got any posts coming today? Because now I have to run downstairs because it's tricky. I don't think so. In fact, no, the post's already been. What am I on about? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, woman. It's very late if he's coming now. And it is Saturday. How are we all, ladies? I like Saturdays. It's my second favourite day of the week. I like Tuesday afternoons because I then have Wednesday and Thursday off. And I like Saturday afternoons because I have Sunday off. So, yes. And it means I can get demos done and catch up with things around the house and that sort of stuff. So if you follow us on Kits and Caboodle page as well, I will be doing a demo on there tomorrow. Be carrying on with the insert of my secret garden kit. If you haven't watched me before or watched any of us on the page there, go and find us. Something a bit different, combines mine and Cash's and Hobbylicious' loves. So we've got all the wonderful Hobbylicious items that they make themselves. And then we saw some things that we all love to go with it. So why am I trying to put stuff away? Let me just move it there. Okay, I think that's quite enough red for now. Hello, Martina. I'm going to move to green now. And before I do so, I'm going to make sure that the majority of this is dry. If not, the whole page is going to turn to brown. So we'll give it a little bit more. We'll be going over. I hope that you're seeing the shimmers and the different shades okay on the camera. Maybe I need to bring the light a little bit more this way. That should hopefully help. Okay, that's dry enough that we shouldn't get brown now. Right, so let's go for some greens. I'm going to save the paints till the end because they're ones I can do with my fingers. So I've got Squirts. I love these, although the name makes me laugh. Emerald This is Lindy's. So they need a good shake. All the shimmer sits at the bottom and there's a little ball if you can hear that. So if you give it, there's no spray on here, so you can shake these up and down. If it's a spray, try and do it round and round so you don't clog the nozzle. And then these you open and it's a pour. And they are very pigmented, so be light with them. And again, these are two-tone. So you have a green flat ink with a shimmer gold running through it. So you can see that is green. We're not getting brown because we stopped to dry. So drying is a really important stage. I know sometimes it's boring and we don't want to stop, but you will get a much better look if you do. Right, try and run this down a bit. Ooh. Okay, I'll just let it sit like that. We're also going to have Liquid Acrylics Emerald. So you should find all of these items on the website. If you struggle to find anything ever, just give me a shout. Again, super pigmented, so we don't want to go too nuts here. And there's no, you know, that I'm not doing anything that anyone else can't do here, am I? I'm just splatting a bit of this, a bit of that. It's just a bit of time and patience. So this one was quite a bright green. This one is more of a blue green. So that's a yellow green, I would say, the first one. This is more blue green because it's emerald. I love this colour though, it's super pretty. I'm holding the spray because I'm trying to just very gently spritz this out so that it doesn't fly everywhere. Whoop. Okay, let's get my page rolling again. Oh. Ooh, nearly. Let's mop a bit of that up. Okay. And the spine as well. Okay. Right, we'll let that sit. And we'll add our final green. So another Vicki Bouton. This is Watermelon Burst. These are the ink. Oh, I missed one there, look. So this is kind of more like the emerald. Quite similar. I can use that water that's there. I'll mix that as well while it's there. And I'll just get a brush and add some water now. Not in my tea. Nearly put it in the tea. So we can see it's definitely green. We're not getting brown because we spent a bit of time to dry there. So super duper important. Okay, and I think I'd like a little bit more of that Lindy's because that's been a bit overshadowed by the other two greens. Okay, and I'm going to dry and I'll see how I need to mop it up as I go. I'm going to use that plastic. I'm going to try to tilt my book around as we do so. And if you ever feel that anything's too much, before it's dry you can obviously mop some of that up with some paper towel. Or, if you do it with paper towel as well, it's nice. Paper towel. Am I American now? Kitchen roll. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that was just weird. I think I spend too much time talking to Americans these days. Yeah, you can make flowers from that then, like an embellishment for your work, or you can peel off the top layer and use it a bit like a decoupage paper in your journals. So really good to mop up with kitchen roll, or baby wipes as well. You can make nice flowers from those. Not as good to pop in your journal though. So kitchen roll is really good. Okay, that's looking good. Right, I'm now going to take this away because it's dry enough. I'm not going to get it everywhere. And I'm seeing a nice background already here now. Now let's get this dry. Hi Cheryl, how are you? I'm going to want to do stamping next, so I really want this to be dry again. Just going to pop all these here right away, and I'll put them away properly later. This one. And then I've got this really weird texture coming in the background, which this is like a slightly textured paper, but the green well, and the red actually, I'll show you in a moment. It's really soaked, can you see it, like here? Really soaked into that grain of the paper. And I think possibly where I've got the gesso marks as well, it's created a almost fabric texture. It's really cool. Okay, I think we're pretty much there. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting back into some kind of normality, I think. As far as home life anyway, and you know, demos and that kind of stuff. So that's really good. I've missed it. So I've got also some Dina Wakley paints, which I like to add in my journal with my finger, but what I'm going to do is keep those till the end to see what I think it needs. So we're going to do some stamping next, some more background stuff. So let's have a look. So I've got this 13 Arts one, which is a wintry one. It's from their winter range that we've got. Really nice stamp. I've used this before. One of my good old favourites. Don't Forget to Fly. Looking a bit abused now, but it still works really good. Finnabair sets, and I thought this may be useful. Tim Holtz, Tiny Text, so I will have a read through those, and that might be one we add at the end. So I thought, when I think Christmas, I like the vintage style, so like Victorian type Christmas, and I thought maybe the music notes I like to see in vintage Christmas stuff. Now there was another one. Looks like it's probably plopped out. Oh no, hold on. Is it that one? No, there's like a gothic writing one somewhere. It's a weird stamp. This one. Oh, word stamp. Sorry, do you mean word stamp? This one. Yeah, and there's a Halloween version, and I'm gonna guess, I haven't looked at the full Christmas release yet, but I'm gonna guess maybe there's a Christmas one too. Oh, I really wanted the gothic-y one. Well, that one I'll do. There's that little teeny one. Let's have that one then. And I like these stamps as well. They're sort of a nice big foam top, so you can just do them with your hands. Now, good question. Where did I put the ink? That's important, isn't it? Ah, now there's that. Did I put the normal ink back? Right, let's get some normal ink. I'm not going to emboss everything. So that's fine, you'll do. I don't think I do, but I could order one in for you. I think I sold them all. So I've got out VersaFine normal ink. That's for embossing. So I'm going to put some of these bubbles. And I don't mind if they're not perfect, because that just kind of adds to the look anyway. Just gives it that more vintage look anyway, when you don't get a full stamp. No! I haven't got any on order, but if you really want me to get you one, I could definitely get one on my next order. Or if you can't wait, bless you, because you sound excited. I'm sure there's some other shops that carry it, but I'm more than happy to get you one next time I order. Probably would have made sense to do the embossing first. That's fine. And I'm kind of avoiding this sort of area because that's where I'm going to build up my work, I think. So that's that. And now before I do the embossing, I want to dry that, I want to try and make sure everything's as dry as possible, because the embossing powder is going to stick to it. Sure, just drop me a message, Cheryl, and I'll have a look what I can do for you, because I think I have to go to the American supplier for that, so it might not be a quick one, unfortunately. Obviously it's a bit longer from there anyway, coming from America, and then obviously things are a bit slower anyway at the moment, but I will certainly be able to get you one. So just drop me a message after and remind me, please. So I'll get carried away doing this and I'll forget. So I'm going to pop them away. Let's have some more tea. Right, now, hoping this idea works. I'm just going to rub this. It's a blending brush, but I'm going to rub it over my page. Try and get rid of static. It might not work. There we go. I don't mind, again, if it's not perfect. So I'm going to take this stamp now, and I'm going to do some embossing with this one. Again, I'm not going to use a block because I quite like when it's not perfect. So this fine embossing, mine is very abused. It got used at a retreat, and people were putting it on wet ink and stuff, so it's a bit abused, but it still works. You don't have to use a specific embossing ink, just as long as it's a slower drying ink, so you have time for that powder to stick before the ink dries. And I'm gonna pull it, like bend it, so I don't get a full stamp. This is quite a big stamp. I don't want to fill the whole page with it. And I'm paying more attention to the edges because I'm going to build up my piece in the middle. So what was that? Was that 3? Okay. Right. Now let's move everything out of the way. This is a very big page to do embossing on. So I need something under me. Let's get a piece of paper. Oops. Ready to catch it. Okay. And I can't really remember where I put it, so I'm gonna go a lot of places. I'll tap it all off after anyway. I think there was some up here somewhere. I'll just cover most of the page. I know it'll be there somewhere. And this, I'm using the embossing powder is the Golden Mirror Fabrique de Cour one we have. It's really pretty shiny gold. Okay, so here we go. Fingers crossed now. I've never embossed on such a big page before in a book, so this could be a little bit tricky. Okay, it appears to have embossed my other stamping. It obviously wasn't dry. That's fine, we'll emboss it all then. I was going to have those, I thought I'd dried those, but I hadn't dried them enough, so let's just plop that down there a second. Get this put back. Why did I put the lid on? I want to make life difficult for myself. Can you all see my stripy pajama trousers? A lot of people don't do embossing anymore, but I really like embossing. I think it's, I like metallics though, so maybe that's why, but I really like embossing. I think it still has something to give. In craft, things go and come around, don't they? Go in and out of fashion, and just do what you like. I think you can mix it up with new stuff. Right, here we go. So we embossed everything because the ink wasn't dry. So make sure it's dry, anything you don't want to emboss, or do the embossing first. Now I've got a bit extra here where some of the ink mustn't have been dry. I'm going to brush that off. I like that little extra bit there. That looks quite nice. Like a shadow. And then this one worked, but it's a bit patchy up at the top, so I'm going to just wipe that bit off. There we go. So wipe off anything you don't like before you heat, or else it will be stuck there forever, because it's like a plastic. So you'll melt it and that's it, you can't get it off then. Right, so let's heat. Have some tea while we do this. Does anyone have any questions so far while this is drying? All fairly self-explanatory, I hope. Oh, here it goes, it's going. Oh, it's such a pretty gold. It's like liquid gold. Can you see that down here? It's so pretty. It looks like a bauble now almost, that one. It's not a cheap one, I'm not going to lie. I think they are maybe 20. I can't remember, Cheryl, I'll need to check for you. I've got a feeling they were something like £20. They're not a cheap one, because they're all individually cut as well. So you can stamp them all individually. Or you could, I did see someone make a really cool background actually, stamping them all. Must have taken some patience to get that all set up. Hubby can pay for it. Why not? Good idea. Yeah, it may even be more than that. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's a while since I had it now. Yeah, just remind me after and I'll check for you. It's Stampers Anonymous and it's Tim Holtz. The code is CMS394. Charlie Mother Sierra 394. And they're rubber stamps. I love Tim Holtz stamps. If I was rich, I would have every Tim Holtz stamp and stencil, I think. Right, it's going, but I think where my page is still a little bit damp from the ink, perhaps. They're taking a little bit longer to go. We're getting there. And yeah, I just say I think this gold sort of gildy sort of look is really Christmassy for me. Sort of time when we're, you know, give ourselves a bit of luxury, a bit of opulence, isn't it? red, green, gold, quite traditional as well. I'm going to be using red, green papers in a moment. And I do enjoy to journal. I think it really challenges. I'm normally quite a 3D worker in my art, so I think to be limited by a book that's not on rings either, so they're sewn into the spine, so you can't get very fat with the pages. It's really challenging, and you have to think of different ways to make it look interesting. And I do like my journal, and I find it very free. I find that perhaps I'm very more experimental in my journal than I would be in my other work. Right, one left, and then we're there. Okay, we've done it. Oh, look at that. How yummy is that? Super shiny and yum. Oh, don't catapult the water everywhere. My slipper sock thing is falling off. It's irritating me. There we go. Right. So I think that's our background done. Now let's see what else we're going to do. So here's another page I did next door. So you can see there's still a lot going on. There's a little bit of dimension, but it's more how you kind of layer, and the background again was important on this one with the textures. So I've got the Holly Jolly Christmas paper range by AB Studio I'm going to use. I've just got somewhere under all this some bits I want to add first. So I've got some stencils, so we'll come back to the paper. Stencils. This is the one that AB Studio designed for us. So I think there's still a couple left. There's two wintry sort of ones. I think I'm going to have that tree going across the middle. I'm just going to grab some different inks. So what's in here? Get some oxides. And just remember that, of course, oxides, distress, oxides or distress normal, they're water reactive unless you seal them. So if you're going to spray anything else on top, anything like that, you'll need to seal it unless you want it to run. Which is fine if you're just creating a background, but if you want something crisp like a stamp or stencil, would need to seal that. I'm looking at what greens I've got in here. Let's have that. So evergreen barrow and candied apple. I'll use a sponge. Oops, I've lent on the mouse. What have I done here? There we go. Right, so I'm just going to sponge on some stenciling. Just a bit more for my background. So this is candied apple. And the cool thing about oxides is that you can layer light colours on top of dark colours, because they're a dye and pigment ink fusion, they behave differently. If you took regular distress ink, like say the red, and tried to lay that over the dark green, it's not going to work. But with oxides, you can do that. See, I was a bit heavy-handed. I think I've got this a bit juicy. Obviously, this won't go over the embossing, because that's plasticky. Okay, so that's that. And then maybe, what should we do? Maybe some of the snowflakes in green. Well, you can have green snowflakes. Why not? I can. It's my journal. So this is Evergreen Bough I'm going to use now. Can't see that very much because for some reason I decided to pick the section where the embossing was everywhere. Let's try a different section. Somebody just fallen over or something upstairs. Okay, you can see it, but I mean you probably can't on camera. It's there, I can see it. It's just adding a little extra pattern. Okay, so that's that. I'm happy with that. And I've got a few chipboards I might add in. I'll put that to one side to give that a wash. I don't need to worry so much because it's oxides. They'll come off. They're not going to dry on there. Right, so some chipboard. So I had this piece left. This is from the same range. Thought we could maybe add this as like a border somewhere like that maybe. And these I really like. These are called Wonderland Details, I think. Wonderland Details Hobbylicious range we've got on the website. So I'm going to add a few pieces from that as well, I think. These are made so you can layer them. But I just use them separately as well. And these are craft boards. They're very thin, like chipboards. So they're great ones you can use in your journal without adding too much height. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to leave that out and I'll have a play with that after. And maybe a little piece of this one. This is an AB Studio one. This is a chipboard. And this is ID 125. I like this for background. And I actually used it on the page opposite. Funnily enough. So we'll poke a piece of this out. And I'll keep that to one side as well. Where did I put the scissors? There. Let's snip that there. Right, I need to poke all the little bits out of that one. They can go down there. We're done with stencils. I don't want any more stencils. Might use those dots later. Oh, I actually used the Wonderland on there as well. How funny. Maybe I saw that and subconsciously that's why I picked them. Who knows? So I'm just poking all the little bits out. If I had a smaller pair of scissors, that would be helpful. Let's get something smaller. Just a pencil will do. I don't know what I've done with my scissors again. The good ones. Keep losing them since I've lived here. What are you all up to then this weekend, ladies? I'm gonna chill and watch some of The Crown. Not normally a massive historical period drama type person these days. I was when I was younger, but I'm really enjoying The Crown. It's really good. And oh, what's it called? The chess one, the chess program on Netflix. Really love that. I've forgotten what it's called now because I'm useless. That was awesome, and I think there's a new series of that coming soon, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I've got, what else am I doing? I've got a body shop party tonight, so that should be fun, online of course. And tomorrow I'm going to do the Kit and Caboodle demo, like I said, and chill a bit, I think. Right, so these I'm going to add in as layers. Let's start looking at papers. The Queen's Gambit, thank you. Yes, Cleo, I absolutely love that. Ironing and tidying the house. Oh dear, Cheryl. Do you know, I do not iron. I iron maybe like a dress if I'm going to a formal occasion, and if AD's going as well, like his shirt and trousers, and that's about all the ironing I ever do. I am really terrible. I cannot be bothered with it. So maybe a little bit of this check. Well, they've done the splatters on the really pretty bits. That's annoying. Maybe I want to take, so I don't want to use that bit, so I'll take this bit here. And I'll save the rest of that pretty paper. So maybe some of that. You get this really cool number sheet and then sentiments, so that's really handy. More of that like nice pine on there. Door, random, and this background, so that's not necessarily Christmassy. Oh no, Cheryl, oh no, I could not be doing with that. That one again, not Christmassy necessarily, nor that one, doesn't have to be. Look at that lovely door. Oh, what if I've got two of those? I don't know. I've got two of these. That must have been a packaging error. Poinsettias, nice red door. So see, it's a Christmas range, but it's really handy because they put lots in. That means it doesn't have to be. So let's keep that one out for a sec. Tag sheets. I love AB Studios tag sheets. Beautiful. Note paper. So we might use a tag. And then this lovely vintage one and plaid. Right, I think that's it. So let's go. So should we have a door maybe? I will tidy that piece up in a minute. Let's see. Maybe a wreath. That wreath's nice, isn't it? Let's have that one. And I just cut a vague shape around them. Oops. I got my proper scissors, that wasn't very good. Let's cut it out first and then we'll trim it later. Some of these sheets, the elements are so close together, it's difficult. Right, so let's cut this out properly. And I move the paper, not the scissors. I think it's kinder on your hands and you'll get a neater job as well. So the scissors are literally going up and down and it's the paper that's moving. Oh, anyone else got any really good Netflix series or whatever that you're watching? Sky or just normal telly? Do you love a good series? I used to be a film person. My partner's really rubbish with films. He's just no attention span whatsoever. So we don't really do films anymore. And I've become a real series addict. Just put them on when I'm working at home. And oh, I can watch like, you know, if I'm here all day, I could just watch like 8 episodes or something. Like, oh my goodness, where did the day go? Do you love a bit of background noise. If it's not that, then I like to put my audio books on. Right, so that's that. Okay. So that's so far. What else should we have? A tag or two? This one's nice. That's quite unusual. And you can chop them in two, so don't waste it. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I want it poking out the top and the bottom, I'm not going to use two tags. I'm going to chop it in half. So let's tidy it up. They're actually fabric scissors. I find that I like fabric scissors, probably because they're really sharp. I like fabric scissors to cut my paper. I know fabric people out there are going to be cursing me. Fabric scissors? You use fabric scissors for cutting paper? Right, so I'm going to chop this in half now, roughly. And then I can use the top up the top, and I can poke this bit out the bottom. Nice. Okay, we're getting there. What else do we want? I want something green. It's very, very red at the moment. So it's basically like I'm building a scrapbook layout now, just in a journal. I like that green door. That's gonna be too much though. It's quite big, isn't it? Let's maybe have some of these holly leaves. Is there anything else green on here? Right, let's have those. So we'll have this cluster here. Let's just get it out of the paper. Got so many elements on this range that they're, you've got to be a little bit careful cutting them out. How are we doing? Nearly 4. Right, it won't be much longer. Try to keep them all within an hour and a half for you, so I don't bore you to tears. Can of course come back and watch. I think these demos have become just my own little therapy sessions. It's my time to chill. Not doing officey work or at work. It's just my little playtime. So I'm not gonna rush. Right, some holly. Okay, it might be enough paper, so let's add the other elements in. And again, I'm gonna chop this in half. And this is gonna poke out from there. I'm going to keep it white, I think. I quite like the natural colours of chipboards and this light board for a bit of contrast when you've got a lot of colour, and I do often use a lot of colour. So that's going to be there. I don't think I want this one today. It's not working for me. What about these? Under there, couldn't it? And I think that might be it. So let's start sticking some stuff down. So we'll start with these chipboards or light boards. We need something nice and sticky. So I'm going to go with 3D gel. You could probably get away with matte medium. Because I've got that uneven background, I like to just use something I'm confident with. This is a new jar, so this needs a bit of a stir. There we go. And just little dabs. We don't need much. It's a sticky one. move it over a little bit so I don't cover all my nice embossing. Oh, what happened? Message popped up. Oh, people message me during lives. It covers right where all your comments are. Ah, nearly catapulted the glue everywhere. Right, and then this one, I'm gonna sit there. And this will dry clear, this gel as well, so if you are a bit heavy handed, it's not the end of the world. So let me just bring that paper in. So there. I keep forgetting to get baby wipes or a wipe or something before I demo these days. They end up like, oh, what are we going to wipe that on then? So I end up with really sticky hands. Right, let's go now. Right, I'm just going to rough the paper up a bit just to make it a little bit more interesting. Now this is where the fabric people will definitely be cursing me using my fabric scissors like this. They are a really old pair I inherited, so they're not that sharp anyway. You could ink this as well if you want it to stand out a lot. I like this white, it's just going to pop off the page a bit more. Oh, I'm determined to catapult something today. Right, now I'm going to put some there, some along there. This is the same 3D gel. Again, you'd probably be fine with a matte medium or soft gel, whatever your brand you use is called, the thinner gel. But I just like to be sure and use my 3D gel. And now we need to be careful how much dimension we build here. So remember, it's a book we need to close. So more gel on the back here. And I wanted that berry to pop out from under there. So before I press that down properly, let's tuck that in. Okay. We might need something under there to pop that a little bit. There's those little scraps of chipboard. We'll use this bit, so keep all these very, very handy. And we'll plop that underneath. Okay, and now I want some words of some sort. So I've got the stamps, but I want a nice phrase as well. One of these sheets had Merry Christmas. Here we go. Merry Christmas. This is the bonus page, so you only get this one in the pack. We've got lots of AB Studio in the store. Actually, I did have this really old pack of stickers. I'm gonna have this, I think. This was my Mind's Eye one. So there's this Christmas in here. I'm gonna have that. It's pretty sticky, so I think I'll get away without gluing this. Maybe there. Christmas. Put more that way. Christmas. and there's some other little bits in here I may as well accessorize with. I don't want the tree for some reason. 25 for Christmas Day. And I could at some point later on maybe add a mini photo from Christmas Day, so it's like a little memory keep as well. Overlay that bow with another bow. Yeah, that looks quite nice. So 3, I like 3s. We'll have 3 of them. Alright, finishing touches. So let's have a look at those stamps. If not, I've got some Christmas stickers and Tim Holtz ones. So this is a generic set, so I'm not sure if it'll work for Christmas. We'll have a look. Let me just put that gel away actually before I forget. Right. You can never have too much happy. That would be good for Christmas, I suppose. No, I don't think I want to use that. Let's go for these. So these were some with a bonus sticker attached to it. Tim Holtz Christmas stickers. So I love the Tim Holtz stickers. Really handy. So let's have a look. Christmas Remembrance. It's a Wonderful Life. Greetings for Christmas Day. That's quite nice. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, I think, because I have holly on here. That's quite cool. Let's stick that one on. Should put some gel on here because we're sticking on top of paint, so it will peel off. We'll have that one. Have you started the Christmas music yet, everyone? How are you about Christmas? Are you a Christmas Scrooge or do you love it? I'm a bit of both, because I work in retail as well. I get a bit bar humbug with it after a while. A Christmas greeting. Should we have that one? Oh, I don't want to stick, you devil. Why don't you want to stick? Be a monkey. Maybe one more, as I've got 2. Oh, glowing red and cheerful green. That's very apt for this page, I think. Let's have that one. Where shall it go? It's quite a long one. Maybe down here again. Oh, I got a dirty finger and I rubbed it on the sticker. Oh well, never mind. Right, are we done? Let's see what I think. I've got some little sticky gems. We can have a couple of those maybe. Try and use up some old bits and bobs. So let's have a few of these in red. I'll put some more adhesive on again. Especially when you stick onto paint, acrylic paint, which is plasticky, and the embossing, and then you've got that plasticky sort of feel adhesive on the back. They will eventually peel off each other. 3 of them. Oh, I did have some washi tape I was going to use. Find this nice washi tape I had from Christmas. Where's the end? Oh, I cannot see the end of it. Oh goodness. Oh, there it is. Let's go in with a bit of that. Oh, that one's upside down. And I'm going to finish. I'm not going to do all the paints because it's very busy, but I'm going to take Ancient, which is the metallic Dina Wakley paint, and I'm just going to treat it a bit like enamel dots. So I'm going to do some little dots with it. I'm going to use 3 again because I like my little triangles. It's a thing when I used to be obsessed with Chamel, which I still like Chamel, but I'm not so much into that kind of scrapbooking anymore. And when she stood about the triangles thing, I was like, oh, I'm obsessed with that. So I do it all the time now. Oh, I didn't stick my tag in. Oh, is it too late? Let's have a look. I knew there was something missing. I can't work out what. Hopefully, you do get a bit of drying time with this stuff, so hopefully I can still slot it in. Okay, it's fine. We saved it. It's going to cover a bit more of that chipboard now, though, because we've got that number 25 in the way. Never mind. This one will have to go this way because we've got those stickers there now. Okay, and we are done. So I hope you like it. Quite a vintagey vibe, although set on not so much a vintagey background, quite a modern background really. Quite vibrant in places. With some of that bit luxury of the gold embossing. So we used Finnabair stamp and 13 Art stamp to do that, with VersaFine inks for the stamping, and our Fabrica Deco gold embossing powder. We had a whole variety of inks and stuff on there from Finnabair and Fabrica Deco, and there was even a Jane Davenport's inks in there, and some Vicky Bouton ink pens. We've got AB Studio Beautiful My Jolly Christmas papers, some wooden embellishments, some gems, and that Dina Wakley painters dots and a couple of enamel dots. AB Studio chipboards there, and there's also Hobbylicious lightboard, Hobbylicious stencil, and I think that's it. Oh, there was a bit of oxide ink as well. So if you have any questions or you want to shop any of this, have a look and give me a shout if you can't find it. And don't forget, until Tuesday we've got free postage, so you just use the code BF2020, as in Black Friday 2020. So B for Bravo, F for Foxtrot, 2020, all one word in small letters, and you will save your UK postage. If you're international, it'll still take the $3.95 off, so still saves you a bit of money. And I'm gonna go now, so thank you very much for watching. I'll take some photos of this and I will see you later. Bye.